Hey, good morning, everyone. Today we have the first of the PKMT Connecting Forum. So we call in short the PKMT Connect. And this is the first time. And today we have our speaker, Mr. Pramuda. He will show us and talking about the potential power of internship and the impact on the career presentation. I hope that you can enjoy this session, and if you have any question, we will have the Q&A session at the end of his speaking. I hope you enjoy this speaking. Pramuda, if you are ready, you can start. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jan. Yeah, and good morning, everyone. And yeah, thanks for joining with me. And so I was asked to share my, internship experiences after the graduation and how did I apply for job and how did I ended up getting the job. And so I think so it would be great. So and I'm also glad to share my experience. So I have prepared a small presentation just to show you some important key points, and alongside the presentation I will also explain the my experiences as well. So, and if you have any questions meantime, so just feel free to ask me anytime in the middle of the presentation as well. So it would be much easier for me to do this as an interactive session. And so let me start from the first slide. uh, So the title of the presentation that I have created is the potential power of internships and the career impact and the impact on the career preparation. So I have divided the entire presentation into 4 segments. So the initial 2 sessions I'll be explaining in more theoretical information. So it's like what is the background of internships and how do you apply for internships and how do you maintain a professional profile to get a job. And actually these days, so these are a little bit into theoretical information, and I will try to explain my experiences alongside those information, and I'll try to relate them accordingly as well. And the point 3 and point 4 I'll be more into my internship experiences and how did I work with the international people and what are the experience that I got, and also a little bit about the company that I'm working right now. So let's start the proceedings with the first one. So basically, I will not go one by one in this chapter. These are pretty straightforward information that you can find it anywhere. But however, if there's any additional information, I will explain verbally. So in this slide, you can see just the basic introduction of what is an internship, and you could see there are some points that I have highlighted. It's like that you will get the practical experience, and also it is closely related to a professional working experiences. It's more like you are working in a. It's more like that you are doing a career. It's not like a student, and the questions. I mean, that like everyone, maybe mostly the concerns, these kind of concerns that after a fresh graduate student may have. And even like as soon as I graduated, I had the same questions on my head, like how do I find a job? Because I didn't know about internships at all, and I was not really into internships first, because my main target was to find a job. So I was just looking for a job, and I thought it was an easy process because I already have the master degree and bachelor degree, and I thought it's straightforward that I can apply and I will get job. But it was not that easy as it seems. So it was a quite hard process. I mean, I applied for many companies. So my main target was to apply the overseas companies, including Thailand, because I'm from Sri Lanka, and I always believe that applying, working in away from my country is always a good opportunity than working in my country. So because I will get more opportunities, and in that case, so I tried to apply for many companies, but I ended up getting no responses at all. So it was like maybe like 1 or 2 months I continuously applied, but mainly main problem that I have encountered in the Thai companies is that, of course, that the language barrier. So that's the main thing that I've encountered. But apart from that, I also applied for the international companies as well. But some companies that they send me that I don't have the enough career experiences, and so those things, and you can see these are the frequently asked questions that every student may wondering that why I cannot find a job. It's like I don't have any experience. So that is one main thing that's what exactly happened to me as well, that even though I have the academic performances, good academic record, but I still don't have that much of career experience. So the jobs, they don't hire people based on the academic qualifications at all, but some they might. But it would be better, it would be it would be a good heads up if you have some working experience. So that is where the internships come to play. So internships provide you in a close career experiences. So after completing an internship, it will be much easier to getting a job. And some of these things that, when considered to internships, like why should I work for free? Because most internships, you don't get paid when you work. But the thing is that why should I work for free? Because you don't have any experiences. So that's my opinion. Like, if you want to get experiences, that you should not think about the paying salary as an internship. So what all matters is, yeah, get the enough experience and expand your skills. And some other concerns that you can see, like somebody else is more qualified than I am. So we might think that we don't get job because somebody else is more qualified than I am, but I don't think that's true, because it's just the assumption that we are making. And so of course that we are skilled in different segments. So this is not a valid reason to think. And I can't find one. Of course you can find one, but it's difficult. There's a way to find one, and I'll explain later on that how to find one. And okay, so we can move forward. So in these slides, you can see some of the benefits that you get from internships. Here again, that I will not go each word, so you can just focus on the highlighted words here. So these are the key words and key advantages, key benefits you will get, and you will get, of course, the real world experiences. So in a university and in school, what you get is more in like theoretical knowledge, and in a work, internships or jobs, that you all convert those theoretical knowledge into the practical knowledge. So that's what that's what happened when you're working as an internee or as a full-time employee. And you will get more exposed to a professional behavior. So there's a difference between working in a university and working in a company. So, and also enables the student to compare theoretical ideas. So that's what I exactly mentioned in the first sentence. And those are the general advantages you will get. And also you will develop the good interpersonal skills as well. So how to find an internship program? So it's not easy, but it's not impossible. I mean, when it comes to internships, so as I mentioned that I was not particularly searching for internships. So I was just looking for the jobs. And what I used is use internship or job search engine. So you could just replace the internship to job as well. And I really haven't used these websites much, but I used a little bit of this internship.com, which I could recommend anyone wants to find some interesting position, that you can use this one. And social media and websites. So this is actually quite a good way to find an internship or a job. So the key is creating a LinkedIn profile. So at first I had a old LinkedIn profile, but I hardly used the profile. But then I realized that after graduation, so maintaining a LinkedIn profile is a key. So that's one of the main platform that you will be reaching out new people, you will be reaching new contacts, and potentially getting a job. So I will explain a little bit in detail later. And the Glassdoor, I think everyone heard this Glassdoor as well. So that's also an interesting platform. You can find many jobs, internships as well. So of course you can Google. And in my case, how I found the internship is like it's not a straightforward. I haven't searched for any internships, so I was just looking for jobs. So the first thing I did was I created a LinkedIn profile. So and then I used one of my friends' help to create a profile and how to operate LinkedIn and how do you maintain your LinkedIn profile. So which is a totally different area. And actually it really helps me to find new contacts, and it's quite easier to find the jobs as well. So in my case, I was applying through LinkedIn for jobs, and of course before mentioned that approach employers also one good way that I have tried, because at some point I realized, so it seems like I'm not getting a job because I don't have enough previous working experiences. So what I did was I searched for the companies which they haven't announced that they are hiring. So I just basically send the email to my CV to the HR manager, or what mentioning that I'm a fresh graduate, so I'm looking for any vacant positions in your company, maybe some internship programs as well, like that. So I did get I did get some good responses, but not the positive, but they replied me and they said, oh no, we don't have available open positions right now, but at least I got the replies. So this is another way that you can try. And what happens to me in my case, so I got a message from LinkedIn, a guy. So he said that he's in Thailand, but he's a US born guy, and he said that he's working in a company called My Internship Asia. So that is like a recruitment company. I'm not so sure precisely, but it's a type of recruitment company. So what they do is, so they find the fresh graduate students who struggling to find jobs, and what they do is they help to find them job, not the job, the internship programs. So the internship program normally lasts 3 months and 6 months. So that's actually depends on us, like which one that we want. So a career counselor. So I would say this is like getting an opportunity through a career counselor. So, and he said, so he will find me a job. He will find me companies. So shortlisted companies. And basically we have to send our CV to him. So they will review the CV, and they will come up with the shortlisted companies which matches to our CV. So that is the process, and that is how I got this company. Actually, it's like normally, after like 1 week after evaluating my CV, so he came up with 4 companies, 3 Thai companies, and actually all 4 Thai companies, and they were like not really related to my background, since I was graduated from packaging and it really not into packaging. So that's also an interesting point, because I was, after the graduation, I was more applied. I thought that I should work in a company which is related to packaging. So I was like searching for packaging companies, like big packaging companies, and ended up getting nothing. And like then I realized, so why I should only focus packaging, so I could focus something else like that. So that's also an interesting thing that you could try. So you don't really have to stick to your field of study. I should say that not really like that, but you can still search which is any field that you can relate your knowledge that you learned in your graduate study period. And then he came up with like 4 companies that I already mentioned. So they were not really related to my field, but a little bit something similar to like a food. But like 2 companies are basically, they are doing something related to food, but it's integrated with IT and computer. So it's like some application development. And I told him that, oh no, I'm not interested in this one. Please find me something in the field of like research and development. So that is where I'm good at. Okay, and he said, okay, he will find, and he came up with a company called Thai Union. Actually, it's I think it's a seafood company, if I'm not mistaken. And the next process is, after I select 1 or 2 companies, they will send our CV to the company. And then if the company sees that we are a potential match as an internee, they will call for interviews. So I thought, okay, so this company fits to me and I can work as a researcher. So that's what I'm good at. And the meantime, also they came up, the guy, he came up with the one other company. He said, this is a Japanese company, but they do in business in supply chain. And then I thought, okay, so it's still not anyway close to what I learned in my bachelor and master, because it's business and supply chain, also a little bit of IT as well. But I thought, so since I spent like the 5 or 6 years in Thailand, that I got enough. I got plenty of exposure in Thailand. Then I realized maybe it's good to move somewhere else to expand my knowledge and to get more opportunities. So I told him, okay, so don't go for the Thai company, just go for the Japanese company. And he said, okay. And then he sent my resume and my LinkedIn profile to the company, the Japanese company actually, and they agreed to have an interview. So that's how I ended up getting this internship. So I will explain the next what happened next in later on. So we are here in middle of now internship still. So these are the different type of internships. So most likely the internship is like a non-profit internship. So basically it's like a 3 months of period that you don't get paid. But there are some internships as paid internships as well. And of course, some college internships. And yeah, speaking about the college internships, that I can remember that I did 2 internships during my bachelor studies, which is also a good experience actually, because that's one company in Sri Lanka that I worked. So that is the only and first and only time that I got a real life company experience, like working with the lines, working with the machinery. And yeah, it actually is so nice to working on field. So rather than working in a closed environment for me personally. So how can we build a strong professional background? So this is very important actually. So because as I mentioned that everyone if anyone asks you about what are you doing and can I get some information of what you're doing, so you could basically give them your LinkedIn profile. So it's the best way someone could see your professional resumes, and it acts as a resume, your LinkedIn profile. So it's very good to maintain a good LinkedIn profile, and you will get plenty of opportunities. Yeah. So just in very briefly, I will explain. So this is actually a very whole other segment, but I will not take time to explain on LinkedIn and stuff. But holding a strong LinkedIn, so which helps you to discover the right career, because and also you can do research by yourself on LinkedIn as well. And there are plenty of companies and plenty of people out there, so you can directly send messages to people. And you can update on your career. Your like whatever you do, like some of your experiments, like I'm doing like this, and people would come up. And yeah, I do have some experience like that, because I remember one time I just posted a picture of what I was doing, some very brief information of my thesis, and like 2 or 3 people, like they've shown that interested. Oh, this seems to be very interesting what you're doing, and can we know about what can I know more about what you're doing, like that. So it's a very good platform to share the knowledge and get opportunities. And of course a CV, at this point every graduate student must hold a CV. So this is a key, and it's also important how to create a good CV. So because you most of the time that you apply jobs through by CVs, so and the recruiters get like plenty of CVs at once, so it's a tiring process. So there's a chance that if your CV is not that interesting and it's messy and too much information, that it ended up getting not read, ended up getting not read. So it's also important aspect to create a good CV. If anyone needs some information, that could contact me and I can give you some key information like how to build a good resume or CV. And speaking of CVs, that normally we apply jobs through CV, and in most cases, like many platforms, we can directly apply our information by just one click. All we have to do is to upload your CV. But it's important what I believe it's important to attach a cover letter alongside a CV, because a recruiter, they will get like hundreds of CV for a position, but it seems like they will not interested in, I mean, they will miss the best fit candidate. And this case, if they see a CV alongside a cover letter, so they know that this person has spent some extra amount of time, some additional time to express himself, and it most likely they will feel more convinced that about you if you have a cover letter. So there's also a way to write a cover letter. So this is just an example of my CV that I created, and this is the right hand side. You can see a cover letter that I written to a company. So this is, I think, some of a teaching position, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, if anyone has questions about writing a good cover letter and build up a solid CV, that you could ask me anytime. That I would love to share the information with you. So the next step, if they are after they're accepting you, I mean, so let's back to the story of my internship. So the Japanese company, and after they evaluated my CV and they agreed to have a meeting with me, have an interview with me. So the first interview, that was my very first interview. Actually, I was so nervous, and I was trying to be too professional, and I had no idea like how they will react to me and like that, since this is not my background, and I was expecting many questions to ask, but the interview process was so smooth that I must say that the person who interviewed me was he's a German guy, and he is a top tier person. Later I understood he's a top tier person, but he was so friendly and they were so cheerful. So I had to switch my mood to serious to a little bit cheerful, and actually that helped me to express myself more comfortably. So so what I understood is that the most of the international companies, especially the European and US, whatever it is, so they tend to be more open. So what I experienced, like in my country, I'm not sure in Southeast Asian, but most of the South Asian countries said the interview process is so professional. They ask so many questions to you, like they don't express much more in a cheerful way like that. But it was totally different in this case. Like they are more friendly, and they didn't even ask me about like the questions of what I'm doing and any questions, no questions about the business or anything. So what they were trying to do is to evaluate your character. So this guy, how this guy reacts to these sort of situations. So like this willingness to learn, like eager to take the challenges like that. So that's what I understood. So it's really important to, face an interview in a cheerful way. So you should be confident. So that's what I understood in my very first interview, and actually it went well. So these are some of the things that you can prepare yourself before an interview, but I would say, but it all depends on the way that you interpret the present on the day. So that's another aspect, how to face an interview. So okay, so let's move into the third chapter. So in here, that I will not read the slides. So basically I'll try to explain about just try to share with you guys about the experience that I got after hiring as an internee on that company. So after the initial interview, so they hired me as an internee for 3 months. So I started in 2021 October. And I should say at that time also I was working as a research assistant in Kasetsart University as well. So I had to manage my time. I mean, split my time to working time and as well as my internship time. So I told them that I am currently working in university as a researcher, so I might not be able to, myself is not fully available. And they said it's okay. So 4 hours per day would be enough. And one more thing, this internship conducted remotely. So all I had to do is to go online and logged into their system and just attend the meetings and do some other stuff as well. So the time management is key. So because I try to do my lab work in the department, like in the morning session, and then work in the evening session. So it was not easy. Sometimes I had to put more effort on the internship. I thought this is just the internship which they will give me only training, but I was wrong. Like it's like more, they were really considered me as an employee, and they just kept giving me the tasks like the normal what the normal employee does in the company. And it was really challenging for me since I started as a zero business background person, and the first month was really difficult. So I really tried to adapt to the environment and try to get the understand what is the company doing and what is my role as an internee, and those things is really important. But the key is that you should not show them that you are like the giving up or you don't want to do this. That it's very important to make constant conversations with them. So they really like that, the interactive interactions between them. So it's very important to maintain the workplace relationships. And after the first month, I felt a little bit comfortable of what I'm doing, and then I was slowly moving forward with the company and the other internees as well. There were many internees, I should say, similar to me, but everyone is coming from a business background. Everyone has an MBA at least, or everyone has an MBA or master or a bachelor in commerce or whatever it is. So I was the only one who had no business background, and I didn't find it as a disadvantage, because what I found that it's something unique, because sooner I realized that the company that there's that what we are good in do research. So sooner I realized that the company there's a no proper researcher who could do the good market research or something like that. So then I told them that I can do the research in the market research or business research, whatever it is, just give to me that I can do it. And they also realized that, so okay, so this guy can do research. So that's one thing that our company lacks right now. So it always find a way that you can you are good at some certain aspects, I mean some certain fields. So always find something that you are good at, and always work on that and try to convince the others that I am good in this particular section. So it's very important to develop interpersonal skills, because when we are working in a global company, that we meet people from many countries. So in my company, that majority is from Japan, but still there are many from Europe and US, Mexico, and India, and some Southeast Asian countries as well, plus New Zealand. So we have the wide variety of culture there, and it's really great to. I mean, I had really good times spending talking with them, because when we are working remotely, it seems like it's boring, but actually it's not. So it's become like the new normal now, since everything is becoming online, that you can basically just go and connect to the meeting and just talk with daily activities like that. So it was fun than I thought. And also it's very important to know, I mean it's also very important to get a new friend in other country. So it's like that, you might need their help in future. So I would say always try to make friends from the other countries. So it doesn't matter whoever they come from, wherever they come from, like whoever they are, whatever they are working on, just try to, just keep contact. Just try to connect with them frequently, because you'll never know that you might need them in future, and they might be in like various positions. working in a global environment, so it was that my experience, it was like really good, but it was challenging at first, as I mentioned, that working in a business related company. But sooner, after 2 or 3 months into my internship, so then I realized that it's okay. So it seems like that I'm learning, because I learned quite a lot of things, that every day I learn something new, because it's something new that I have never done. Some things like talking to the clients, and at some point that I had to schedule meetings for a CEO of some leading companies. So that's a very challenging task. And now at this point, now I know, like, how should I how should I send an email to a CEO, how should I send an email to our HR, and like that. So the different positions, that how should we customize the email, so how should we talk with them. So these are very important things, like you need to learn apart from your academic work, that when you go to start working on a company like that. So these are very important things. So internships really do help you to grow these things. So that is extra help that you will get from the internships. So I would totally recommend to do an internship. Just don't care about the payment at all first. What matters is the experience that you will get from the internships as well. And so, as I mentioned, the most of the careers that are going right now is remote. But personally, I would love to work, on field, like in place work. But if anyone is comfortable working remote, that I would suggest that you could find the jobs more into the consultancy jobs. So the consultancy is a good field. Actually, it doesn't matter whatever your field is, that you could basically search for the consultancy vacancies. And there are many consultancy positions out there in the leading companies, global companies. So what they need is your knowledge, your analytical and your critical thinking knowledge for their project. So that's what I will suggest you to try to find good consultancy positions if you are comfortable in working remotely. So that's a good aspect. Do your research is good, because if you really need to find a global company, good global company, that you must narrow down, because there are many global big companies. And I would recommend, I'm not suggesting you, pushing you to apply for the big companies out there at first, if you don't have that proper experience, beforehand experience. So if you don't have that beforehand experience, you are a fresh graduate, I would suggest always try to find the startup companies. There are plenty of startup companies out there. So startup companies, they always looking for fresh graduates and fresh talents. So there are many global startups. They're keep looking for the fresh graduate students from all around the world. And if they find something interesting on you, something unique on you, they will definitely hire you. So the company that I'm right now is working is kind of a startup as well. So that's why they are looking for people from all around the world, and which skilled in different areas. So so in my company, that there are people from like many countries and many ages. And for example, that I work with a couple of internees that they're from New Zealand and South Africa. Actually, they are just not even completed their bachelor studies, but they do have very good, analytical knowledge and the interpersonal skills. And that's why they ended up getting that's why they got this internship, because of their personal development. So that's one good aspect as well. So the startup companies is very good. So always try to find a startup companies, because those are kind of smaller companies and reasonably new companies. So you might get a chance to work on those companies, maybe full-time at first. You will get directly full-time positions as well, if not internships. But internships in a startup also are good, because most likely if you do an internship in a company, so it's all on your hands to convert that internship into a potential full-time employment. So it all depends on the way that you perform throughout the internship. So just don't take it internship as a 3 months. Okay, so then after 3 months I will finish and I will go. Don't think about like that. I signed up for 3 months internship, but my 3 months ended on the earlier January. And before ending the period, I talked with one of the senior manager and I asked him, so 2 weeks my internship ends. So I really want to know what is my next plan and what are the chances of me to getting a permanent position. And then he would say that it seems like you did well actually, but we have a policy that we don't hire people who does not have a business background. So at that point that I thought, so okay, so I can find another job. So why would I continue in an internship program which they don't even pay me, and I have to work like 4 or 5 hours every day, like hard work. But then I realized that all 3 months so far that I learned very new things, and after 3 months, actually after 3 months I was on the track. So I knew what I was doing, and I knew I could see that there are potential openings. So I asked him that, okay, is it possible to extend my internship like in a couple of months? And meantime, I will look for other jobs. If I get one, I will quit, but I would like to continue internship as an unpaid internee. And they would say, yeah, okay, sure, that you can continue your work as an unpaid internee, and we don't mind that. And actually that changed, actually those 2 months actually changed my life, because during those 2 months they were asked me to do many good projects. Actually some of the projects even worth like $1 million like that. So so it was a really good test for me, and I realized that they were testing me. And after 2 months they said, so it's great that you decided to extend your internship in 2 months, even though you don't get paid. And we are in a position now that we can hire you as a full-time employee, because you have proven that you are fit to our company as a good and I'm a good asset to them. So like that. So it's always, you should things will not come easily, and what requires is a little bit of patience, I would say. Yeah. And that's how I ended up getting the full-time employment after tough 5 months of internship period. So just a brief explanation about my company that I will not go into detail. I will just very briefly explain. The name of my company is Kenja, which is located in Japan, and the headquarters is located in Tokyo. And currently everyone else in the company is working online remotely, except the Japanese group. So they are working on site. And basically the company, we are working on the blockchain activities for the supply chain in different fields. Just to give me the company profile, so you can see our CEO is Mr. Ted Katagi. So he's a top tier guy, and he also holds the head position of the Fidelity in Japan's private equity group, and also he had loads of experiences in the big names such as IBM and Vodafone. And also he's a part-time professor in the NUCB Japan. And our CTO is actually our technical team is located in Poland. And basically we have like talented people all around the world. Basically our group is around 75 right now, 50 to 75, including interns. We do have very good partners. So these are some of the big names that we partner with, like the 7&I Holdings. As you know, the 7-Eleven is fallen under the falls under this the 7&I Holdings, and the Global Blockchain Business Council, and also the Randstad, so one of the big name in the recruitment industry. So basically we are innovators. So we do provide the blockchain solutions to different industries. So our industries such as food industry, energy industry, finance, and IT. So those are the 4 main industries that we are looking for. And we do provide the blockchain solutions to enhance the supply chain efficiency. Our solutions can be categorized into the energy certification, custom development, some GRC, supply chain, security, and modular platform. During my training, I was more involved in energy certification. So this is a very interesting field, actually, energy. So we are focused on the renewable energy. So what we do is that you know that the carbon credit is a new, like an emerging key thing which evolves around the energy industry right now. So basically, we are doing businesses around the carbon certification and carbon credits accreditation. Supply chain, basically the supply chain. I remember I worked one project in a 7&I group, I holdings in Japan. I worked one project like the waste management and in the supply chain. So providing blockchain solutions to reduce waste management. And also the security, we provide security to the supply chain. So we do have the technical teams that we have the IT integrated automated systems. So we integrate those automated systems to different parts of supply chain to enhance the security and provide transparency of different supply chain activities. Thank you very much, and thank you letting me the opportunity to share my experiences. It's really glad. I'm really glad to share. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Pramuda. Oh, Ajahn Ampon is in here, so please, Ajahn Ampon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pramuda. You did very excellent job. This is very impressive. Yeah, since after your graduation, I mean the one only 6 months, I would say, on estimate. Okay, so this is very good. And then I think you come to very far. Okay, and then you're going to keep doing like this. Okay, you're going to get very good future. Okay, and then you are on the right track on the business. I mean, for your direction. So I'm look forward for your future career. Okay, and well, when you get success, okay, don't forget our department. Okay. All right.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that something is very important that you share, because the most important thing I would say that language. Okay, in order to get the international skill, so you have to be comfortable. Okay, to speak, communicate in English first, and then technical going to be something that can be. I mean, it's not difficult to learn, but you can manage to learn more. But you have to be flexible, as I told you every time. Nothing that one person can know all, right? So you have to keep learning, and nothing is impossible. Okay, that is my key. Okay, so I'm glad that you could share. And there are some, if there's some question, maybe our professor or our students can ask you. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the floor is open for the question. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Okay, and the thing is, I'm not sure. They might want to ask Pramuda directly, and anyway, okay, try. Pramuda going to be busy for a couple of days because he needs to gather things, and then he's going to fly back on Saturday. Okay, so maybe if you have question, maybe you can get to ask him later on. Okay, all right.
Okay, so thank you again for sharing this precious experience for us. So I think all of the our friend, the friend who come here, and this presentation, this speaking will be is recorded, and it will be shared to our friend also. So this is a good, I think like this is the best way for preparation. So this is like the very first hand experience that they know how to get the job, like the international in international company is like maybe is a dream job for many people. So they like you inspire them that is not impossible for them also Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you very much for today, and
Yeah.
okay,
Thanks
thank
a
you.
lot for inviting me and letting me to share my experiences. It's a really big thing for me as well. Yeah. Thanks a lot everyone joining with me today.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for the attendee today that you spend time with us, and I hope you have a good day, and let's have a good lunch. Okay, goodbye for now. Bye bye. Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Pramura. Thank you.